there's a reason for this.
We can't wait. Is it going to be condescending?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Yeah. Yes.
Boobs.
What does that mean?
That's what the Nooner crew wants.
They want boobs?
No, I'm joking.
You got a rack on you, James. You got a
No,
rack of
I cover it.
lamb on you.
I cover it with the...
I'll be a shepherd. Trying
Ooh.
to just put those two lambs back behind the gates
That's
again.
not what happens with lamb.
It is. They get squirrely, man. You've got to herd them in with one of those sticks with a hook.
I've never heard that. Lambs I felt always kind of grazed and then...
No, you gotta hook them back in with that.
A lamb herder. Is that what you're talking about?
Look up a lamb stick, Alec.
No, it's like a Bo Peep thing.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not Bo Peeping it. It's one of those sticks with a hook, and you kind of hook them around the neck and get them back in the gates, James.
Yeah, but that's a Bo Peep stick.
It's called a Bo Peep stick. Man, look.
How appropriate. This is appropriate.
At the top, this is appropriate. Just type in, what do you use to herd
lambs,
or
and
sheep?
the answer is going to be
stick.
You don't herd lamb. Right?
Yes, you do.
I mean, you can.
You got to get them back in, James.
From where?
They're roaming all around. They want to
not
check
the
out
same.
things too, James.
Look,
Lambs are people too.
I've seen. Oh, there you
It's
go.
it's a goddamn hook.
No,
It's like
no, that's a
this,
Bo
Alec.
Peep stick. That's a
It's
Bo Peep
one of those
stick.
hooks. It's a wooden hook stick for lamb or
no,
sheep.
they use dogs, they say.
Look on the boards. Maybe somebody's got this answer.
You know, they don't.
You sure?
You herd lambs. That's what Nico's saying, but it's sort of like a question mark. It's called a shepherd's hook.
There it is. Fuck. My God, man.
A shepherd's hook.
Who said that? Hire him.
The hawk.
Hire the hawk. What's the hawk doing right now? We need to Google
The hawk.
Messiah.
The hawk. What are you up to?
Yeah. What are you up to these days, the hawk? We're live on YouTube, same as we are every single day, right around the Nooner Crew Hour. This one's called for our Nooner Crew. To be honest with you, we're going to answer some of your questions today. We get a lot of it. Somebody started a private Facebook page for Ross Patterson Revolution. Feel free to join.
It.
I think it was Craig Dulesky, I believe.
Shepherd's crook?
Yeah.
Poop stick.
No, definitely not a poop stick.
No,
What was the name of that thing?
I think it's shepherd's hook. Yeah,
Well,
shepherd's hook.
Shepherd's hook. Yeah. The old shepherd's hook is what it is.
Shepherd's crook is coming up a couple times.
It's fast. It's fast. Like when you Google, it's all about the keywords.
Right.
You got to be quick with it, like Jeopardy.
Yeah, but I don't think that one was coming up only because it's not something people actually do.
Everybody has that stick.
No.
Yes. I've been.
You use dogs, and I think you're maybe thinking of the Bible.
I'm thinking of the Bible. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Bible
you're
did
definitely
it.
thinking of like a picture from the Bible. I'm sure.
There is
like
recent
an old with like robe and a hook
pictures of
with
it.
the sheep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but not anymore. You know, we've really kind of moved past
You gotta
that
be a
era.
shepherd, dude. Hey, either you're a shepherd or you're a fucking sheep in this life. You know what I'm saying? And that hook is the difference between life and death in certain situations, James. Speaking about being not fast at Google, we play Jeopardy every single night. You and I. And it's to keep your mind sharp. Your mom was the one who was like, I want to play this every night because it keeps my mind sharp, right? I used to play with my parents too growing up, you know.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes. And I feel like at the end of these days, I don't have it anymore. Like I don't have the quickness anymore. Like I should have known that, you know?
A shepherd's hook?
It's keywords that live in your mind forever.
Oh, yeah.
They just vanish after a while. Like after you learn shit.
Well, it's the door to, so they're all in there, but it's like the door to get them kind of sticks
closed.
Sometimes.
It's closed. I couldn't remember.
It gets old and rickety, that door.
You know what I couldn't remember on Drinkin Bros yesterday was who fucking dropped the bomb. And it was Harry Truman. Couldn't remember the president that dropped the bomb. Like,
You know what I try and do is like first I just don't know it.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then it just makes it easier, right? Because then I could just be like, I never knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good for you.
It's a blissful existence, friend.
It really is.
And I wish it for you someday. I really do.
It really is. So do
I hope that you could like not really worry about stuff like that and just be like, I'm good.
Oh, I'd love to. I would really love to.
You'd be like, oh, what's that shepherd's hook? I don't know. Maybe they don't do it. Blammo, move on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. A sheep stick, you know?
Shepherd's hook, but yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I would call it in real life. If I couldn't come up with the right answer, I'd be like, hey, once you get me one of those sheep sticks for Halloween, I'm going as a shepherd, you know, with a hook on it. But yeah, in Jeopardy too, man, I feel like I'm slipping. I also feel like there's too much going on in my mind.
Yeah.
Where, again, right in the third book, it's almost done. It'll be out at Thanksgiving, by the way. I got a lot of messages from it. It'll be out at Thanksgiving. It's one of those things where you're using so much of your mind that you're like, maybe I can't do this anymore. Maybe it's like Seacrest. At the end of the night, maybe it's like Ryan Seacrest.
You Seacrest out?
He's back today.
He's back. He's trying really hard to not look like he had a stroke.
Really?
Yeah.
Jabes. Who talks like that?
Do you know what I mean, though?
I know.
He's trying really hard to keep that eye open.
I think he did too much.
He did too much.
I was...
there was too many outlets that were like, including the NBC, that was like, we really feel that he did too much.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing too much, and we need him to take a break. There were too many people that were saying that, even higher ups.
Yeah.
That there had to be a little fire where that smoke was.
So I read those articles yesterday, and it has to be true in his case. Like, my God, man, that guy's schedule. So it was released yesterday, 4 a.m. He was waking up at 4 a.m. and then doing like that. That's when his meeting started. 20
million things. And again, I have to say, I know the only way for him to do that is he was on some kind of medication schedule, and that will fuck with you as well. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if you just have that endless energy.
So you think he was?
I think that you cannot do what he was doing without.
Okay.
At least something to sleep.
Okay.
Because during the day, if you have that energy, you have that energy. But
sure.
Someone like him, I think, would work through the night if you didn't put him to sleep with something, right?
Yeah.
And you know that to be true. So it's like...
Absolutely. And
I think at the very least that, if not something to get through the day.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Who knows? A little pick-me-up. A little boom, boom, let me hear you say yeah,
yeah.
Boom, boom. I was thinking about that last night, and in particular looking up his story because we can tell the audience, pretty close to selling this TV show. I think the deal closes on like Friday. And I got shoot dates, for it. And a little part of my mind was like, oh, boy, that's another show, isn't it, Ross?
What do you mean? Oh, that you're going to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but thankfully that's a limited series, right?
It is, yeah.
And you
I think
shoot it and get out
we're
instead
starting. Yeah, I think we're starting with 12 episodes, and then if the first season does well, it'll do another whatever how many. But I'll be amped to tell the audience about that. I think we'll do it after we shoot. But I got the shoot dates yesterday, and I was like in LA, and I was like, oh no, another one, huh? Yee.
You don't want to see Crest out, bro.
I might see Crest out. I think though the good part about it was the book will be completely finished by then.
Yeah.
So that's like the books are the hardest ones, man. It's a mountain. It's a goddamn mountain. So I think once that is done and put away, it's like, all right, great. We have the release date. The cover's being made right now. Blah, 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 blah. I can get back to just being a fucking idiot, and being like, all right, great. Awesome. That one takes so much focus. So much goddamn focus. Whenever people hit me up about like, oh, just write. Can you write my thing or can you write this book? I'm like, no, that is a negative, my man. That takes way too much thought and energy to do that for someone else. I did it for Matt. There's only one other friend I would do it for, and that's kind of it, I think, in this world.
Yeah.
Even his is limited. I gave him a 2-year window. I said, hey, man, I'm going to give you 2 years to decide if you want to do this. If not,
moving out.
can't do it, bro.
Moving out.
I can't do it for you, my man. But I do feel good today.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good.
I feel spry today. I feel like I'm back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We came back with a vengeance yesterday.
We really did.
Yeah. Drinkin Bros is on fire as well. Good days all the way around. And not that flight to Austin's pretty easy. I don't really have a lot of issues with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That LA one will get you. But the flight to Austin, shoosh. And have fun.
Sure.
But yeah, man. So what we're gonna do today is go into look. Everybody's tired of, I'm sure, of hearing about the riots or fucking COVID, which has absolutely disappeared, which is great. You know,
COVID's great.
it's gone.
We're all
done with it. The only person who got it was the making a murderer guy today, Stephen Avery.
Oh, what happened?
You get COVID in jail. Yeah.
Wow.
You know. He fucking did it anyway, so
Interessant.
I'm
Yeah,
fine with it.
I think so too.
Now, if the little DeHassy kid got it, then I would
know.
feel bad. But
I know.
because
He should be out.
well, they should test his IQ and realize that he's on the dummy scale, and like he couldn't have done anything about that,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the lowest? What is it? Under 70 or something like that? Yeah, that kid's hovering right around a 69, probably.
I think he was at a 70.
Oh, was he? Well, he's on the cusp. He's a cusper.
Sure.
So that kid, you know, probably didn't know what's going on, and I feel bad for him. Stephen Avery, I think that motherfucker did it in making a murderer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just that's just me. So we're gonna go through some of the RPR questionnaires here. Things that you guys have posted in this private group, Ross Patterson Revolution, on Facebook. Get at it today, because our Nooner crew has been strong with us here for. Fuck,
Are you sure they're
going
cool?
on month 3?
Are they cool with us saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would never say anything that anybody didn't want.
Okay.
Because you can say whatever you want in there in that group.
Yeah,
nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Somebody, Matt Devlin, posted a picture. Said he's practicing. That's Joey Chestnut.
Oh.
Yeah. If they can't, so I'm glad you posted this. That's one of my favorite things every year. And last year we did a live show. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Was it? It's 4th of July, right?
4th of July. Yeah. So
that was fun.
What's gonna happen with the hot dog eating contest? For those of you who don't know, Joey Chestnut is
From
the world
home?
champion. And,
Zoom?
oh God damn it!
Zoom contest?
If they zoom in a hot dog eating contest,
They will.
I'll lose my shit.
They will.
That's crazy. There's a million fucking people protesting and rioting in New York right now. Throw, what is it, 50,000 at Coney Island? Let's dog out, dude.
Yeah.
I want
or
to dog
maybe
down.
just nobody watching.
Now that's the tradition that'll really break my heart this year.
Yeah.
Some might say March Madness. No. If I miss that hot dog eating contest, I'm going to be pissed.
It'd be cool if they take away dipping in the water, because that's the only thing that makes me puke. Other than that, I'm good.
James.
It's the dipping in the water.
You got to get those buns
dipping,
soggy.
It's the dipping of the bun in the water.
Got to get those buns soggy to get those dogs down. That one I'm going to be pissed about. Maybe they do it fanless, though.
That's probably what it would be. I mean, that would be great.
Because that's a tradition that we need in our lives.
We need in our lives. I just need the announcer, who is probably one of the most underrated, hilarious people in the world.
Yes.
That announcer.
Yeah, that guy's great.
Just sneaky, sly, dry.
He's fantastic.
Really fucking good.
Fantastic, that guy.
So they'd have to be spread out.
That's fine. You can spread those guys out.
I think they'll probably do it. No fans, right? I mean,
I hope so. We'll see.
yeah, I hope so.
Because we do that live show last year was so much fun. And we made hot dogs for ourselves, like the whole thing. And I think 4th of July is on the weekend this year. I think it's on a Saturday, which is nice.
A perfect.
So, yeah. Somebody else wrote in and said, "Hey, did you guys see the ass eating protest in Minneapolis?" I did. I don't know if that's a real picture.
I know. It can't be.
I hope it is.
I hope it is too. What a protest. What a great protest. What a fun one to be at.
But somebody was asking, it's Jacob Nickel. And he said, look, this is a protest I can literally get behind. Same. We talk about ass eating season on the show all the time. The date, though, is real late for that. Yeah.
You're getting into...
May 1st is when ass eating season ends.
Yeah.
We're in June right now. That is prime, not time for ass eating season right there. That is...
Yeah, we're in hard June right now. We're in a hard June.
Now, I've heard conflicting...
It's not a soft June.
No, it's not a soft
June. You know what I mean?
June.
It's not like...
Yeah, it's a hard June
we're
right
hard
now.
into June right now.
I've heard conflicting reports regarding this picture.
Okay.
Somebody said, and I don't know if this is true, so if you're out there, write it in on the message boards right now. Somebody said these guys show up in like crazy situations like this and eat ass because they know it's a hilarious photo op everywhere. If that's the case, congratulations, and I'd love to have you on the show. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're going to have to get new mic covers after it, but I'd still love to have them on the show, right? Don't want to get near their breath.
Not sure, and I'm
going to be a lot of mints afterwards, before and after the show. But if that's the case, that is one of my favorite trolls ever. And if this photo is real, and you were just like, hey man, now's our time to shine.
Sure.
It's time to pull down your pants and eat ass on a car. I mean, because I'm looking at the picture, it's in the middle of a riot. You know, like the heart of it. Nothing would freak out people more than that, where it's just like, imagine if you were there and you were
really
like, wait,
just
what?
stop all violence, right? So it'd be better than a rubber bullet, I feel. If everyone just lined up and did that, everyone would stop, right?
Oh, that would be the greatest thing of all time. It really would stop the violence, because if you were in the middle of a hardcore protest, right? Yeah. Whatever it's for, and then you just saw two grown men, like just, one bent over a car eating ass, like, you would stop everything that you're doing. I think you'd forget about race. You forget about police, everything, and be like, whoa.
You just have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And probably not too many answers.
I love Jacob Nickel for posting this. And here's why. If you're a longtime listener and a day one homie, you know nothing makes me laugh harder than graphic male nudity. Mm-hmm. And this picture, I think I posted it too on an Instagram story.
Right.
Nothing makes me laugh harder than graphic male nudity. If I saw this in real life, man, I would laugh so fucking hard, Jessie, that like
it would be done.
It would be the greatest thing of all time. Because this never happened to me out in public, where like where a non-friend got me with graphic male nudity.
Yeah.
Where I was like, shit, that's a good one.
Sure.
Like that hasn't happened yet. Usually it's buddies of mine, and I'll still get friends' dick pics all the time, which is great, and it always makes me laugh. But the public aspect of this, of walking out into the middle of a riot and eating ass, is the funniest thing in the world to me.
It's unparalleled, and they're really doing it. You know, they're really doing the work.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can post from my house on the hill, right? But these people are really in there doing something about this.
Yeah, man. So it's one of those things where I hope I get to see that in real life.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
I think bucket list wise, you probably put the Masters on there, the World Series.
Sure.
And then just an ass, like these two guys eating ass in the middle of a protest.
Right.
That is now on my bucket list. What's something that would stop you where you were like, huh?
I mean, definitely that.
Yeah.
Something in that vein.
Okay. There was
what
something,
are you saying?
There was something that stopped me in real life where we were raging at somebody's house or whatever, right? When I was just like, oh, fuck. All right, cool. I guess we're doing that. There was these dudes who got trashed in college and were rolling kegs down a hill and then jumping over them like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But the problem was, it was like there was parked cars and other shit at the end of the street,
sure.
and those just kept going, and it hit a curb and went out of control, and those things really tumbled down a hill. Where I was like, man, congratulations, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But this would be a showstopper for me.
There's one clip of something. There was like this little kid at a wedding, and not little, but like 6, let's say. And he was dancing, and he went to grab the pole to like spin around it.
Yeah.
And it was electrocuting him and keeping him on there, but he was just like spinning around.
Oh, God.
In his little like tux. That would stop me probably.
Did he live?
Yeah, he lived, and I laughed my face off.
Good.
But yeah, and it was just like, you know, in the wedding, everybody's dancing, blah, blah, and he grabs on it.
Yeah.
Spins around.
Traumatic, right?
Super traumatic. I'm sure he's definitely in therapy or doing drugs right now, but it was really funny to see, and it would stop me.
Yeah, it definitely was. Speaking of electrocutions, did you ever see kids growing up? I saw 3 or 4 of these kids growing up who had scars right next to their mouth like that.
Nope.
Like Joker scars.
I don't know what that is.
I do. They bit a fucking electrical cord, like from a lamp that was plugged in. Bit right through it, and
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Not even a picture of it.
Yeah, 3 or 4 kids I saw.
You grew up
I grew up in Georgia.
not so affluent, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Georgia. It is what it is, you know.
I think we just ate paint chips, which you can't really see the scars. You just kind of, do you know what I mean? So that was our jam in my neighborhood.
Over time, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll just sort of be like a slow lead poisoning throughout your life that takes your IQ, just your memory. I think it's a frontal lobe thing, but no, we didn't have the you don't have scars from it. You know, like someone can't look at you and go,
sure,
you bit a fucking cord, huh?
Yeah, you bit a wire. You bit an electrical cord and it just fucking jolted you, you know? Great. That and people missing balls, just one ball. And it was for weird things, man.
Never seen it.
Yeah. A friend of mine was on a swing as a kid, like 6th grade or whatever. You know, when you swing as high as you can and then you jump off high in the air. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a branch that had fallen and it was like a stick. And he landed right on that, pierced his scrot, and took out a ball, and he had to have a ball removed. Now, you can still, he was able to have kids later on in life.
Yeah.
You
but only need one.
I will say this. He had a really good sense of humor about it, too. And because eventually your penis is going to get exposed in a locker room at some sort as a child.
We met some fans that he had a tea bag tattooed on his one ball because he did only have one.
Yeah.
Brills.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it was a real tattoo. I got inches from it.
It wasn't one of those.
I probably got too close to it, but I definitely
henna
wanted to see
ones
it.
or anything.
No.
It was real.
Although that would be still a nice flex if you were to get a henna tattoo on your ball sack, you made one of those weird henna tattoo artists.
Sure.
Go ahead and
do that. Tap
that up. That'd be nice. But Homeboy was good. He was cool about it. He was just like, I'm gonna embrace it. You know, he was like, I'm a uniballer. I got one ball. And
for
that's
sure.
The thing. And you're
it's
like,
the only way.
Cool, man. Yeah. And then there was always the odd dad who playing with a kid in a pool. The kid kicked him too hard, and then boom, testicle exploded, and you had to get that fucking removed.
Testicle exploded.
Yeah. With one ball, I think you'd be fine, right? That dude we saw was fine.
Yeah, I mean, you can still do all the things. It's like having.
With 2 missing ones, you're gonna need implants. I feel like some sort of silicone implants. Mm-hmm. Did they do that, Alec? They put in They do.
They do, and they do if you have let's say if you're Lance Armstrong and you have cancer and get it removed, they do have the little silicone balls that you're like, you can do this or not.
Yeah.
Some people decide to, I guess, and some
ball
people
up.
Don't.
Yeah. I think
it looks like a little egg.
Oh, does it really?
Mm-hmm.
Made out of silicone?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking technology, man. I'd love to have a pair of robot balls. You know.
But don't they shrink up? So maybe one would stay kind of in place and the other one would kind of.
It's tough.
Shrink up.
They shrink up obviously when you achieve an orgasm, you know?
Not in cold or anything like that?
Yeah, and cold too. But I mean, look, if they're weighted balls.
That's what I'm saying. So one would be weighted down and the other one would shrink up.
I think I would want them the same weight. I wouldn't need it to shrink, really. You know? Like, there's nothing about the cold weather that when my balls shrink up that I'm like, oh, man, thank God that happens. You know?
No, I know, but
like,
it would just be a funny sight, that's all. If one is shrinking up and the other one stays totes normal.
Yeah. But I would definitely, I'd want the deuce. I want the twosies in there.
Well, you can't. So what are you going to remove the other one? What do you mean you want the twosies in there? So I'm talking about if someone only has one.
But I'm talking about if you lost both, right? What would you do? Because you can't leave an empty sack. Do you just go one, or do you put two in there? I'd put two in there.
Why would you just go one? That's not even an option.
Yeah.
You would put
give
two
it a little
balls.
Weight. Lance Armstrong's only got one.
He only has one actual ball.
Yes, correct. But if you can live off of one ball, right? And let's say you didn't have the money to buy two. Throw one in there, I guess. You know? Maybe you go on a payment plan with something like that. Do you come back and get that other ball later?
Maybe you do it sideways. And then it drops down.
You ask for one larger ball?
One, but do it sideways so it goes.
It fills up the whole sack?
Yeah. Right? I don't really know.
Do you guys have just one of those bigger balls that I can just kind of weight this thing down? Just like a plum size that I could really kind of shove this down and just let it live there in my sack.
Maybe get it bigger. Like maybe get like one of those that they put on the back of those trucks or whatever.
One of those door knockers? Yeah.
And just kind of get them bigger.
Yeah. Real set of brass on you, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be a fun trick, though, if they were made out of brass. You could take it out of the party
or maybe you should
bang
do
it on a pan.
You have cancer, right? You need one removed. Maybe bronze it while it's intact.
Yeah.
And then get rid of it. Do you know what I mean? So you always have a thing like on the mantle or something what it used to look like.
Mm-hmm. That'd be great. There was that
with
joke
the,
in Ted.
Baby shoes and stuff.
Remember in Ted where the villain in Ted was like, he bought Lance Armstrong's one nut and then had it bronzed and then had it put in the thing.
Smart.
Smart. I'd like to do that. I asked my buddy what he did with his. I was like, hey man, what'd you do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, nothing. They just kind of took it away or whatever. And I was like, it's kind of a waste, but he was a kid when it happened.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I would want that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd want that on my mantle, I think.
Cool.
Gregory was asking about the launch, the Scrubbed launch. So we did a live show on Drinkin Bros for the launch itself, and it got scrubbed, right? But you and I were in Austin when the other one went off. Mm-hmm. It was wild because you and I were driving through like the fucking protests and the riots and shit. And remember it came up on my phone and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that shuttle today.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. Bob and Doug. That picture of them side by side with the lights on the helmets and shit. Yeah.
Pimp, dude.
Pimp and amazing. It's
pretty cool. That's how you do space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they got out of here right just in time. They were just like, yo, man, everybody's gonna burn shit
like
down.
One of the worst days.
We'll get out of this. We're just gonna go ahead and leave the planet for a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll come back in a couple months when you got your shit figured out.
Well, they came back the next day?
No. They're up there for a few months. They're at the space station right now.
Oh.
Now the rocket comes down.
Got it.
The booster. So that lands back down. So doesn't dump out in the ocean, and you can reuse it now.
They don't keep it with them, like in a garage or something?
I wonder what they used to do with the old ones. I don't know the answer to that. Because they would go and retrieve it from the ocean, but then they were useless after that, so what were they doing with it? I think if I flew up there, I'd want that fucking booster back. Like, hey, put that in my garage, dude.
Sure.
Put that booster back in there. I want it. I mean, that's a sweet prize to have.
Yeah.
Put that out in the man cave. Like, hey, man, what'd you do last weekend? Nothing. It's my booster, though. It's my fucking booster, bro. What'd you do?
Bob and Doug were docking in space.
They were docking in space.
Nico.
Together.
Funny.
Together, they were docking in space. But no, that was an awesome moment for our country, and it just kind of... I felt like it lasted like an hour where people were like, oh, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, there was just like way too many other things going on that we're just a little more.
Well, a little more important at the time.
So.
A little more important. Somebody was asking about whether we read about the man who fired a Civil War cannon at his neighbor during a dispute. I did hear that. For 8 days, he fired a Civil War cannon, which is awesome. Have you ever been around one of those things?
I mean, no, not like an active one. You
Yeah.
have?
Yeah, they're massive. They're loud as shit. Yeah, you can hear it like all the way down. And
is it like you put the ball in there?
Yeah, and
light
the stick.
the thing.
The stick. What do you call that cannon stick, Alec? A ram stick. All right.
We'll go with that.
It's got like a pillow tied around it with a rope.
Definitely not a pillow, but
Yeah. Something of that.
A linstock.
Oh, it's called a linstock. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that.
Look at that. Cannon operation.
Teaching history today.
101.
Teaching history is what we're doing. Changing lives, educating people is what we're doing today.
Sure.
No, but in real life, those things are, holy shit, they're loud as all hell, as all get up. It was.
What was the reason for him shooting at his neighbor?
Who knows, man?
Who knows, huh?
It was so it was loaded with powder charge and wadding, and they've been going into a dispute. The guy was charged with harassment and menacing. I'm gonna be real though. That's a dope ass thing to have on your rap sheet. Of like, hey man, what were you arrested for? Firing a Civil War cannon at my neighbor.
Dude,
for 8 days straight.
Yeah. Dude, sweet.
It's one of those neighborhood feuds that you're just like, why didn't you move? You know?
Yeah, my dad has that going on.
Does he really?
And he has for years. The guy finally moved, but it was kind of horrible for a while.
What was it over?
I think it was like some kind of building, or we were loud as kids, or we would park in the front, and it like covered his, it was hard for him to kind of get into his driveway. Not really, but just like old man stuff of just like meh. Very curmudgeon type things.
Yeah.
So he finally moved, but before that it was like he made his life hell. My dad was trying to build something, like just like a little room off his garage, and the guy like called the like city and shit on him and like got it taken down and just that kind of shit.
You remember Jay Anus' ex-husband, Justin Thoreau?
Yeah.
He's in one of these crazy disputes with his neighbor.
Yeah, but he's crazy.
The neighbor?
No, Thoreau.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah. He's like actually like has weird rage shit and like.
You're kidding.
He's a weirdo.
He wrote Tropic Thunder. You know that, right?
Yeah, you have to be weird to be. I'm sorry, but he's super talented.
Yeah.
Writing wise and everything. Like, you got to be a little bit fucked up. And then if you can't hold down any relationship ever and like.
Well, he was married twice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no.
For not
he
very
fooled
long
two people.
each time, yeah.
How do you fool Jay? I'm surprised you don't just go out and fool Jay Anus though like that.
Jay Anus behind the scenes I've heard is a little nutso as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I dated this guy that worked on their house.
Okay.
Did like masonry, was doing something for their driveway or a wall or some kind of something, and he was just like, dude,
she's a nightmare.
She's crazy, and they were crazy together.
Okay, well that makes sense.
They were kind of like wound each other up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Crazy likes crazy like that. Because we've all got friends who are, date crazy people, and you're like, what the fuck are you in that relationship?
Because they're a little crazy too.
Yeah, they're crazy too.
And look, it's exciting, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's fun.
You want to come home and think that you might get killed.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, all right, sweet.
Yeah.
Not me personally, but I got enough going on in my old skull that I don't need.
I think I keep it interesting enough with my weirdness for you.
The seasickness?
No, just like my shit. Like I think you don't always know what you're going to get.
And that's true.
So that must be kind of fun for you, huh?
Yeah, they're like the motion sickness. That just comes on. You don't really know what's going on.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's not? What are you talking about?
just being like, just being a little weirdo. You know, fighting over stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because I'm bored.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Man, guys hate to hear that, you know?
No. It's not that I'm bored and I want to fight. It's that you're bored and you think about things too much. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Or like overanalyze stuff. You get in a fight with someone before they even come home, kind of thing.
Yeah.
To where you've like gone through all of it and you're like, no, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
And then you walk
Fuck
in the
you,
door and you're
dude.
like, dude, and you're like, I've been at work all day. Like, I did not have this fight with you. You had it with yourself.
Yeah.
In your mind.
Yeah. I understand. I understand. Sometimes you overthink it. The NBA is back, kids. That's breaking news right now. It is happening right now. 22-team return. And looks like it's 52 days. That's a long time. It's 2 months.
Before it starts?
Yeah. So you're kind of looking at like the end of July, I guess.
When was it supposed
But that'll be fun
to
at least. It was supposed to. It usually ends the first week of June, so they're gonna have to push next season. Man, that's a long fucking time. I think probably the riots helped it. They were just like, oh, we're all done with
hanging out.
coronavirus now, right? So we can get back to making some money and doing some shit again.
Yeah.
Because this got approved like real quick, where you're like, you don't say. There was so many challenges before everything else happened. They were like, we're so worried about people wearing masks and fucking getting tested and all this shit. Now it's just like, millions of people out in the street. Cool, let's go ahead and crank up the NBA again.
Yeah.
No wonder. One of our sponsors in Drinkin Bros Sports was just like, hey man, we got to get this deal done, you know, that's coming up or whatever, because all sports are going to be coming back like ASAP. And I was just like, you think because of the riots and everything, like it's going to go like and he goes, oh yeah, I think now the disease is over with and no one's reporting about it anymore. They were like, welcome back to everything. Sure enough, I took that call fucking 36 hours ago. And he was right. He was just like, yeah. Congratulations. I'm amped about it. I'm amped about the NBA coming back. Usually that's, just thinking this out loud now that I'm reading this, usually that summertime period is real fucking boring because the NBA usually ends like the first week of June. Now that's going to drive you all the way into college football season, and then the NFL on top of that after that. Like, whew, it's going to be a banger of an end of a year, sports-wise. That'll be fun. It'll probably be fanless, though.
Yeah.
Which would be weird because you're probably going to be able to hear everybody squeaking on the court. We did a show last night. It's going to air tonight for the UFC fights. And it's the same thing because you watched those with us. And it's weird how you can hear every punch, kick, slap.
People talking. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
And so we had the announcer on, John Anik, the other day, who he calls all the fights with Joe Rogan. And he goes, was there any inside shit that you were there that you were privy to that you didn't think was a thing with crowds? And he goes, yeah. He said the actual fighters and the coaches could hear them commentating.
Oh.
So during
they normally couldn't.
Yeah, they can't. So he goes,
yeah.
He goes, now some of them were adjusting like their game plan and stuff over what we were saying.
Based on what they were saying?
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, I didn't think about that.
Whoa.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
The NBA will probably be in a similar situation, which is weird because those guys are giving notes all the time of like, hey man, you should be playing, zone or man-to-man defense or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be strange to see. I don't. Obviously, this is breaking news, so I don't have the exact things in front of me. But what they were pitching a week ago was it was going to be in Orlando. Yeah. So the NBA is inviting 22 teams to Orlando, 13 Western Conference, 9 Eastern Conference, 8 regular season games per team. Play in for the 8th seed, July 31st through October 12th. Wow, dude.
Vote tomorrow.
The vote tomorrow is to ratify because they got to go through the Players Association. They'll pass that for sure. 16 current playoff teams: Orlando, New Orleans, Portland, Phoenix, Sacramento, San Antonio in the West. Washington in the East. If the 9th seed is more than 4 games behind the 8th, the 8th makes the playoffs. Fewer than 4 games, a play-in tournament. Whew, that's going to be exciting, James. I am amped for that.
Yeah.
Good. That'll be fun, man. I'd said this yesterday, and I mean it. I think sports will be a welcome distraction from the rest of everything else that's going on in the world. Politics and all that other shit. Because let's face it, looking at those dates right now, you're going to be in the height of like election season too. Because the election is November 3rd. I don't want to see a million fucking ads and all that other bullshit. But typically football's on the weekends. So like your mind's not really into that. So, all of this, because I'm sure you're sick of this as well on your feeds. Like it's just
of what
fighting back and forth, either over race or politics or everything else. Where you're just like, man, and because there's nothing going on right now, right?
Right.
COVID shut down everything we know in our way of life. Here this state is still not even fucking close to being open. That we're in North Carolina. Thanks, you fucking dickhead, Roy Cooper. I want something else to talk about or somebody else to be amped about something in the world other than, that all day long, like thrown into your face. Even the space launch was at least a nice welcome thing of like, oh shit, there is nice things in the world that are going on around us. Sports is one of those things for me where it's like, I think a lot of people will be like, all right, cool. I'm starting to feel normal again. Yeah. I think I
like to see like peaceful protests and like the videos of police like helping people protest.
I do too.
All of that. Like that I like seeing.
Same, yeah.
I'm not tired of seeing that.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like with I don't know if your feed is like this. My feed is like, there'll be one great story and then 80 fucking things that, the world sucks because of this.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't like that for sure.
No.
But
that's good news. That's great news that the NBA is coming back, though.
Yeah.
All right. I'm amped about that. You know what else is some great news? We got some sponsors, Jabes.
Oh, that's right.
Sponsors.
Wow.
Everybody's writing Lakers in 4 already now that this has come out. That's really funny. It's a nice trend to see. All right. NBA's back, baby. The only problem is that's 2 months. That seems like a long time. Yeesh. We need Chestnut on the front lines eating hot dogs for us as a nice distraction on the 4th,
Oh, yeah.
Chestnuts. Maybe he can eat them in a ghost bed from ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. How do I love the ghost bed? Let me count the ways. 30% off right now. This deal for a bundle package.
25%.
Nope. 30% for a bundle package for the Memorial Day sale, Jabes.
Okay.
That is going on until June 5th.
Okay.
Is what I was told. Were you told otherwise?
I was told 25% off everything, 2 free pillows.
Yep, and that's the other deal they got going on.
Okay.
So if you're not getting a bundle package at 30% off, which is sheets, pillows, adjustable bases, all that other stuff.
Which I would suggest doing because that's huge savings. Probably the most that they've given us so far.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Look, the other one's amazing too. Again, because people are shut down, and they by the way, they just ship these beds to your house in a box, so you're good.
Yeah.
Like you unroll it and that's it.
Come on, bud. We could have used that one last night, huh?
AC went out last night.
God damn it.
I know.
Talk about a sweaty Betty.
Yeah. They're at the house fixing that shit right now.
Ghostbed.com
ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros, as always, they're fucking rolling out the red carpet with the 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest. That's still going on. And I think it might go on forever. I don't know how you do that. It knocks it down like $20 a month.
I mean.
So we'll see.
Yeah. It just makes it easier. They are a great company that tries to.
The best.
Take care of us, especially the Drinkin Bros listeners.
Best in the biz.
I think for us, it would probably always be true.
Yeah.
So that we can get beds and without putting out a shit ton of money right away.
Yeah. Next up, we get StrikeforceEnergy.com.
Shabloinkers,
James. Shabloinkers. Strikeforce Energy's got 4 amazing flavors. Grape, lemon, orange, and then, of course, the Orig. The Orig is still tried and true, by the way. Even though I love the grape, I'll go grape and Orig. That's what I go.
I go lemon and Orig.
I know you do. Lasts longer than 5-hour energy. Tasty, tiny little tin pouch. You rip it open and squeeze it into any liquid available. You're good to go. Go to StrikeforceEnergy.com. Promo code Revolution. 20% off. Free shipping, too. The shit's amazing. It comes in the same boxes that you see at like 7-Eleven. So it just gets shipped to your house, and you're like, all right, sweet. You're not muddying or dirtying up the place, Jabes. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing that. Last but not least, we got expressvpn.com/revolution, Jabes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Look, you need to protect your digital butthole. People are trying to steal yo shit. Go to expressvpn.com/revolution today and save yourself, man. It's a seamless app that runs in the background of all your electronic devices, iPhones, iPads, desktops, laptops, you name it. It is there. And now look, people are binge watching fucking the UK Netflix on it.
Yep. So
Doctor Who, somebody wrote in.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
You didn't know. Well, now you know.
Why isn't Doctor Who on American Netflix?
I don't know. There's a lot of things that are on like Canadian Netflix that aren't on here.
Yeah.
So you basically just open the ExpressVPN app, change your location, and then refresh whichever
All you have to do is change your
streaming
location
service that you're wanting. Yeah,
to the
change your
UK.
location to the one that you want to watch,
Yeah.
Canada, UK, whatever. And then it will just start playing as if you're there.
It hides your IP address is what it does.
Yeah.
So it's great. So, I mean, look, you can do it on any one of them. Hulu, BBC, YouTube, you name it, and go look at shit that's going on in other countries. It's great.
So not only do they protect you, but they're giving you more content, which is what we need.
Yeah, it really is. Go to expressvpn.com/revolution today. You can get 3 extra months for free. It's $7 a month. So, you gotta do what you want, watch what you want, when you want. Go to expressvpn.com/revolution today, Jabes.
What up?
Today, July 31st for the NBA. All right.
A word up.
A word up. Everybody say.
A word up.
Top roller rink song, Jabes. What is it?
Top roller rink?
Yep.
I would probably say it would either be a Shoop.
Oh, all right.
I think it would be a Shoop.
Yeah.
Or Brick House.
She's a brick house. Mine, I have one for a different reason. And it's a weird one. It's a weird
Return of the Mac.
Close. Close. There was a guy, so those who were day one homies know that I worked as a skate referee at a roller rink.
Yes.
For a spell, for a
we
stretch.
know.
And by the way, they offered rollerblades. Like, hey man, you can use rollerblades all day, and I was like, no, I will only skate in real skates, and that's how I would do it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I was in college, so I used those
Okay.
brown ones with the 4 orange wheels.
Okay.
And I did that. Well, they used to have this DJ where adults only. The next 2 songs are adults only to those.
Adults only?
Adults, yeah. Because a lot of parents would go with their kids.
Oh, okay.
And then they would want to skate by themselves and not have to worry about rolling over children's fingers and things like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So there was this one black guy who looked like Boyd Tinsley from Dave Matthews Band, the violin player. Long dreads, and he always wore sunglasses, but he had these custom, like, roller skates, and they were all black with white wheels. I mean, they were expensive and like dope as shit, but he could do the splits and like all that crazy shit that you see where you're just like, oh man, you're the best roller skater I've ever seen in my life, right?
Sure.
Well, I guess he was friends with the DJ, and he would request Terrence Trent and D'Arby, Wishing Well.
Wishing
well, to kiss and tell, wishing well. And like every time I think of it, I think of his braids swinging
and
back
you
and
go
forth
like
as he
that,
danced.
yeah.
Yeah. Because he would do this thing where he would drop down to one leg and then the other leg was straight out.
Yeah.
So he could keep going with it.
Got it. Oh, yes. I know the move.
And that is ingrained in my mind forever. So I was at the grocery store the other day and that song came on and I was like,
and you were just like bopping
oh,
like that?
shit. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know.
Perfect.
I never knew the guy's name and I didn't want to talk to him.
Perfect.
Because he would just chill with like sunglasses on, like in another part of the rink, and then wait for adult skate, come out and destroy everyone. Mm-hmm. It was a weird flex, but like I enjoyed it. Where it was like, all right, if that's what you're living for today, like, go ahead. You know? Yeah. I got into it. Like I was watching his whole shit too.
You remember it to this day.
To this day.
He would be happy to know.
I think so. I just wish I knew his name so I can give him the proper love and shout out that he deserves. But he might be dead.
Fair.
So you never know.
Fair.
You never know. There is people in this life where you think back to and you're like, man, I wonder if they're fucking dead now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There was, is I find it strange, people like who aren't on social media anymore, that even if you wanted to look them up, you have no idea what their lives are like. And you're like, oh, I know. Man, I wonder if they're dead.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to know if there isn't like a heartfelt post?
If they're alive or dead.
From someone that's like taken over there, you know?
Like, for example, did you ever date somebody when you were younger? Like, let's say high school and under, right? College doesn't really count.
I was bigger.
So you didn't date anybody?
I was a bigger gal, yeah. So maybe high school, like junior, senior year only.
All right, so think about this. Somebody you liked, like, you know, as a youth. Mm-hmm. Somebody you had a crush on as a youth. And you go to look them up to be like, you know, I wonder if like 6th grade me, that girl that I was in love with, like what would have happened? What does she look like now?
Sure.
And how awful would my life be, or amazing?
Or amazing, yeah.
Right. Would it be? Mm-hmm. But you can't find them on social media anywhere. And so you're like, oh, shit, I wonder if they're alive.
Yeah.
I wonder if they made it. Have you ever done that and gone back and looked and been like, oh, man, that's disappointing.
That they aren't on?
Not that they're not on.
Oh, that it's disappointing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where you see them and you're like, oh shit, my life would have been not sweet if that would have happened.
No, not really. I did a hookup fuck buddy died on me one time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That I would like go from LA to Ventura to like hook up with.
Sure.
Just like bartender guy. And he died and I wasn't really sure how
he died?
Felt about it because it was like we didn't really have that much of a relationship. It was really just hooking up.
Sure.
So you're like, whoa, I feel weird.
Right. Because he's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not weird because you're like seeing all the emotional posts and everyone's like, he's so great. And you're like, I didn't know if he was great or not, you know? We just kind of like hooked up. He was cute.
Sure.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the only finding out someone's dead story that I was like, whoa, weird.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess that's not happening next time I go, you know?
No, it's definitely off the table for you now. Unless you want to visit that grave.
Sure.
And, you know, make yourself happy on top of it for him and in his memory.
Sure.
You can do that, you know?
Right. We're married, you and I.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know, like, the way you were talking to me. It was almost like...
Well, you said that's definitely not happening anymore.
No, when I found out, I was like, oh.
Oh, it was
I guess
during.
That's not happening anymore.
Okay, cool. It was during, yeah.
Oh, like, we were still, like...
Oh, really?
Probably the next time I went, maybe.
Sure.
So it was like, oh. Wow. Like I'm not like crying. I'm not like crying sad. No. Okay. I'm not like crying sad, but you're also like, how sad that I didn't know this person.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I've had there's been people that I've looked up where I'm like, oh, they're not there anymore, and I wondered if they were dead. And there was others that I looked up where I was like, yeesh.
Right.
That was not the person. You know, when you're a little kid and you're like, oh, you date somebody or whatever, and you're like, oh, marry and have kids and have this amazing life. And then you look at them and you're like, oh, boy, that life wouldn't have been amazing.
Right.
I would say 90% of the time. And I'm curious to everybody's thoughts out there. Write it in the comments below on YouTube. I would say 90% of the time, the people you look up who you thought as a kid, you were like, oh man, they're going to be hot forever. And this is going to be the most amazing life. And then you look them up now and you're like, oh boy.
Nobody's hot forever, man.
No, but
nobody's young forever.
I'm not saying young forever, but I'm saying, like decent enough where you were like, oh, all right, that turned out okay.
Sure.
And what made me think of this was Nirvana was trending yesterday.
Okay.
And in particular, it was that Christ guy. Is it Christ or Chris who played guitar in Nirvana? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I wasn't like the most gigantic Nirvana fan.
Of what?
But I don't know. Somebody can correct me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, K-R-I-S-T. So it could be Christ, but who knows? Either way, how do you pronounce that last name? Novolasek?
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. It's some Eastern European name.
All right. I'm sure I'm going to get crushed for that because I'm saying his name wrong. I bet. But either way, they had found out yesterday. He had said something about the president and the way he's handling the situation, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And people went after him hard and then started attacking his appearance.
Okay.
Because of what he looks like now. And
it's
he's a bald dad. Who looks at he works at Staples, and people went hard on his appearance now. And I was like, I remember when he was at his peak, and
I mean, he's just a dude.
There it is right there. I understand that he's just a dude, and I'm with you on that. But people went after him personally. They were like, man, I can't believe I used to be in love with him during Nirvana and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I can't believe people fucking get older.
Well, and here's what they compared him to was Dave Grohl, because they were like, Dave Grohl stayed pimpy.
Yeah, but Dave Grohl is doing shit about it. You know what I'm saying? That's not natural.
What do you mean?
First of all, cocaine. Secondly, testosterone. Thirdly, he's very active still. Like, he's a rock star still.
He is still a rock star.
So, yeah.
He's got to be 50, right?
Grohl?
Yeah.
Guys.
Looks great. He looks great. Dave Grohl looks great.
Oh, he looks great.
All you have to do is type in age. 51. I was right.
Colors up.
Colors up. You got to look. Because he still looks pimpy to me.
He still looks pimpy, but he made a choice.
That's what they were comparing him to. Of like, hey man,
you can't compare.
When I was in high school, and I get it. It was the internet that was doing it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, shit. You're right. Grohl's still pimpy, but it's the way you treat yourself and take care of yourself and all that shit.
For sure.
Kid, there's nothing you can do about losing your hair unless you went to Keeps. You should have gone to keeps.com/revolution for that, Christ. But yeah, he looks like Dave's dad in this picture.
Yeah, but then also Pat
Can you pop
Smear.
that in? Are you able to pop that picture?
Pat Smear also. It's like they weren't
the weird thing is
they weren't really in the public eye that much. They were living normal lives. Grohl has never. He's been from band to band, rock star to rock star. He's always on the road.
Yeah. Pat Smear, though, has always been weird like that. Like, that's exactly what I picture him to look like, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. He's always just been a delightful weirdo.
Yeah. Love him.
He either plays or he doesn't play, and he doesn't really care about anything. And
sure.
He's pretty affable and funny. I've seen those docs with him. And he's always just like, yeah, I mean, it was cool and this was fun.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't care.
It was rad.
He doesn't care.
Speaking
of
docs.
Which is so awesome.
We'll wrap up the show with this one. I popped on Garth's new doc last night, Garth Brooks.
Oh.
It's on Netflix, and it's broken up into 2 parts. And it just popped up, and it said it was 2019. And so maybe it came out last year or whatever, and they're releasing it now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It has a PBS-ish type feel to it.
Okay.
But you really get into Garth Brooks, dude, is an intense human being, man. The whole time he's doing an interview on the back of a chair from like the Comedy Store. But it's turned around backwards, and he's just kind of like this, haunched up on it.
Sure.
Haunched up on the chair.
Sure.
And everything he talks about, if you're going to watch it at home, take a drink every time Garth Brooks his eyes well up with tears.
Oh, no.
Everything
Okay.
he says
Okay.
in this doc is every single time. It's like, and no matter what it was, he goes,
Oh, no.
yeah. And that was a big moment for me, you know? And you're like, every single time.
I might get uncomfortable.
He's an intense dude, but he's a lovable guy.
Sure.
So like, I
I
went
never
along with the whole
understand.
shit.
I never understand how those two, him and his wife, have so much energy at the age and weight that they're at.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They eat shit all day, drink, and
Yeah.
they're just like always doing stuff, making albums, like hosting shit, doing documentaries.
The Road
Cooking
I'm On is
shows.
the name of it. Yeah. So here's the
It's
wild
amazing.
part about this doc, right? And this threw me for a loop. Was they're interviewing him, Trisha Yearwood, who is obviously his current wife,
Right.
and his ex-wife. She's in the entire thing.
The ex-wife?
Yes.
Why?
Just giving loving, normal interviews. Like, yeah, what we were going through is crazy. And all, I mean, there's 3 leads in this doc, and it's the 3 of them.
Are they a throuple?
I don't know what goes on, but it was you who told me that she lives on the property and is married and lives on the ranch, like at the bottom or something.
I thought they all lived. I don't know.
I think she got remarried. Maybe they haven't gone into this yet. So I watched the first
Okay.
part. I haven't watched
Okay.
the second part yet.
Okay.
But it was the 3 of them giving separate interviews. But her interviews were like loving, like, oh, you know, we were just a couple of crazy kids, and you know, Garth was going through it, and this and this and this, and you know, and then he's talking about doing a duet with Trisha Yearwood, and it was like, I knew I was in love, but it was wrong, and I was married, and I'd pledged before God my allegiance to this woman, and you're just like,
Ooh, I'm going to have to watch this.
all right, yeah. And I couldn't tell if the cuts were edits for, like, maybe it was on television first.
Got it.
Because I think that's my guess of what it was, because there were some odd cuts in there, and I'm assuming it was probably commercial breaks. But it was wild to see, where I was just like, holy shit. And then he got rejected by, I didn't know this, he got rejected by every single music label in Nashville. And some guy fell out at a concert that he was playing, like at some local bar.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the people from Capitol Records in there who said no to him got to see him, this Garth filled in for him, played live on stage, and the guy was like, oh shit, I think I made a mistake. And then ended up signing Garth Brooks. And like, the crazy part for me was the amount of hits that Garth Brooks has is mind altering.
Yeah. He's one of those where you're like, what? He did that? He did that one? He
Yeah.
did that one?
Yeah. And like the circumstances behind it. So if you're a Garth Brooks fan, which I am, to be honest, man, I think he's fucking phenomenal. If you've ever seen him in concert, it's crazy, man. He's like a little bowling ball flying over crowds and all that other shit. I know I talked about it on another show, but this is kind of like a behind-the-scenes look at that. And like, there is something different about that guy and how passionate and serious he takes all of it, including now, like touring now, that you're just like, oh shit, all right. That's why he's putting on the best shows. Like, he really fucking means it.
For sure.
And it was cool to see, because there was just so many, there's just endless hits on there that I was just like, man. And I was waiting, because I didn't know how long the thing was, or, you know, now they're splitting up these docs into a couple episodes. So there's a second one that's like an hour and a half that I got to go back to, because what we didn't get to yet was the Chris Gaines part, which I really want to get to.
Yes. Dude, I can't wait. I'm going to get into this.
Yeah, but as soon as they started playing the dance, and I was just like, oh, man, I forgot about the greatness of Garth Brooks. As soon as the dance started, I didn't know it was someone else's song, too.
You made the mistake of forgetting.
I did.
Yeah.
I forgot about Brooks. I didn't forget about Dre, but I forgot about Brooks.
Sure.
And I'm glad I didn't. But I popped that on last night, and holy shit, I was like surprisingly enjoy it, where I was just like, Garth Brooks, man.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew?
You know? I'd like just a million hits. One of the records, one of his albums was like #1 for like 53 straight weeks.
Okay.
That would never happen anymore.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, cool to see. Cool to see. So if you're out of shit, that one popped up in my feed on Netflix. Put it up. put it up in the queue and see what happens with your life. I think you'll feel pretty good, goddamn good about yourself, you know?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, Jabes. Oh, yeah. We're back, kids.
We're back. I'll do
We're back and doing it.
a cream corner tomorrow.
Yeah, Crime Corner tomorrow. Tune in
Crime
tomorrow.
corner, the people are asking for it.
Yeah,
Right.
goddamn right they are.
I'm sorry. Love you guys. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll do it. And on this channel on YouTube, we've got an extra Drinkin Bros Sports tonight for the UFC fight this weekend. It's the ladies that are fighting this weekend.
Ooh.
Amanda Nunes, who's the very best doing it right now. She's fun as shit to watch, so I'm amped about that. That'll be on tonight. And then the audio show goes live as soon as the video show is up in the afternoon. And go to Apple, go to iTunes, and just rate the show. Give it a quick little 5-star and a review. It'll help drive it up the charts. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.